Hey everyone, and welcome back to Just Echoes with Emmanuel and Azzy.
How's everybody doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another YouTube video.
Yeah.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm chilling. It's hot.
It's really hot.
It's like
really
boiling.
hot. And it's hot for two reasons. First of all, the weather is hot, and today we have a power couple. We have a power couple in the house, and that's why I'm sweating.
Yeah, so as in sweat.
So today's conversation is going to be very, very interesting because in our last video we had doing to talk about life in the UK and life as an international student. But today we have a husband and a wife. And what's better than a husband and a wife? Nothing. So in today's video we have Mr. and Mrs. Jason.
It's not Mr. and Mrs.
No, it's fine. I can use Mr. and Mrs. Okay, we have Jason and Precious, right?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It's an
Yeah,
honor to be
happy
here.
to be here too.
This is our first couple,
This is our first couple.
Really?
guests.
Yeah, so we've been having single.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But thanks for coming, guys. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. We thank God. We can't complain. But
Yeah.
I mean, everything is going on well. We're good.
Yeah, I'm fine as well. Just chilling, enjoying the summer and what comes with it and all.
A recent graduate, right? I want to say you recently just graduated.
Yeah.
How is that as a phase?
How do you
you
feel?
have left that phase of international student.
I would not really say it's a happy phase yet because I'm not done with my school.
Okay.
Until graduation
before, that's true.
which is like in a few weeks. Then I will know that I'm finally done with my school. It was fun while it lasted. I'm not going to say that I did not enjoy the experience, but I kind of feel like 50-50. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Okay, now you're jumping straight into the conversation, and I like that, right? Because
50-50.
in our last video we had doing is an international student as well.
Yeah.
And the conversation was around studying in the UK in this reality in 2024.
Yeah.
Is it worth the hype? Is it worth the price? Is it worth the amount? Is it worth what we think a master's degree is in today's economy? Now, considering the fact that we're all Nigerians and we are paying naira to get a master's, what do you think as somebody that's still in uni? First of all, let's start with the quality of the education and the amount.
Yeah, so let me start from the top, yeah? Applying for a course, I studied law and human resource management. Being that I have a degree, LLB and BL in law, so I decided to top it up by doing a master's in law and human resource management. At first, when I applied to the school, I'm not going to mention the name of my school, but when I applied to my school, I was interested in the school because it's one of the schools that one of our Nigerian celebrities attended. So when I was doing my statement of purpose, I had to mention her name, that I saw that was a university.
Which celebrity?
I was doing celebrity.
Okay, so I don't want to call names.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but the celebrity is someone that I admired, and being that she went to my school, it was just, I just wanted to just go to the school because she went to the school.
Yeah.
So I applied and all. I was excited coming to the UK, it has a rich culture. You're coming, you're meeting different sets of people that you haven't been around. All my life I've been around Nigerians.
Yeah.
So coming to the UK, you're meeting diverse cultures, different people. You have the Indians, you have the Chinese, you have, you have English people, that's the UK people as well too. So it was fun at some point, but from the stage of applying, first of all, my school fees was, I think it was 15,000 plus. If I'm very sure, because I can't remember now. It was about 15,000 plus, and it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Because
It is.
if we start to convert it at let me say 2023, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now the interest rates, market,
exchange rate,
the exchange rate has
yeah.
spiked up. Yeah, it's now quite different.
Spiked.
So I was excited coming. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to, enjoy education from another perspective, being that all my study days was in Nigeria. For the first 2 months, whilst I got into the school, I would call home crying. I'll call my mom like, I don't understand anything they're saying. I just can't get it. I don't understand.
I suffered that period.
I'll be crying. Yeah, I'll be crying. I'll call my brother. My brother lives in the US, bless him. I'll call him and be like, okay, we'll do the assignment together. It's not like I didn't understand. I think I wasn't just ready for that change. I thought I was ready for the change, but I just realized that, it's a lot more than just saying, I'm going to study. You have to be physically, emotionally, and financially ready to, Well, as it went on, my mom was like, don't worry, you're not the first person, you will get it. All my friends have been to study abroad, you will get it, it'll be okay. Then I started to get it.
Yeah.
But coming to my school, the adverts they placed out there, it was so captivating that I thought, okay.
All the things you see on the website.
Yeah.
Your eyes just be shining.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, like, coming here, I'm just going to be an outstanding student. That's the way I can explain it. And, I started to see things that didn't go down well with me. I started to, they just sold something so interesting to me. And at the end of the day, it was like, they took me from 100 to
30. Yeah.
So, but I would not really say, I don't want to say it's not worth it because I've gained masters. And that's the most important thing for me. Like, I got knowledge, I got to study abroad. Yeah. But if you must come to study abroad, you must be financially capable.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have money, I'm not talking about, I'm going to use Naira because we're all familiar with Naira. Yeah. I'm not talking about 10 million. For you to want to study abroad now, you need to have like 30 million to be comfortable. Yeah. 30 million Naira. That's what I'm saying, not 30,000. 30 million Naira, because you need to be comfortable, you won't be able to work. And even
so now, wait, hold on, sorry.
Yeah.
The 30 million Naira is for tuition?
No, not just for tuition, just to ensure that you are not stranded.
Okay, so is this plus tuition or outside? Because, I mean,
everything.
if you look at...
Plus
tuition and self.
No, because if you look at £15,000 now, is that 30 million?
Yeah.
So if you have 30 million Naira, is your tuition alone?
True.
So that's what I'm saying. That is it?
So I think I even need to rephrase.
Yeah.
30 million Naira aside your tuition.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I stayed in Airbnb for 3 months. It was expensive. And as you're just coming into the UK, you cannot get an apartment. It's very hard for you to get an apartment because you might need to provide work papers, references. And people don't trust you enough. So in Nigeria, you can give reference to anybody, but in the UK, you can't just give yourself as a reference to anybody because you're like scared that what's this person capable of? This person get me into trouble. After you've been in the UK for years, you've been able to build your credit and stuff. Then someone from nowhere just comes to spoil the whole thing for you. So it was really difficult. I came to the UK with about. By the time I converted, because I took PTA from the bank, then I still had like some money. By the time I converted, I think I had like £7,000.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yes, but I was staying in Airbnb. I was staying in Airbnb for 3 months.
3 months.
Yes, wow. I was staying in Airbnb for 3 months. So imagine staying in Airbnb for 3 months, and it was a lot. It was a lot, but. It is what it is.
Okay. Now, I think that's one thing that you have mentioned that most people don't pay attention to. I'll come to Jason very soon. The fact that when you arrive, if you don't have like somewhere that is going to home you or house you, somewhere that is going to accommodate you, that in itself is an issue. Even if you are coming with £10,000, you can easily lavish that £10,000 in 3 months.
In 3 months, yes.
I actually even have a question. Okay. This accommodation thing. So, what I'm used to, when I was applying to university, you could apply to for your program and then apply for accommodation on campus. Did you have the option to apply for accommodation on campus?
You do.
Well, my school has the option to apply for accommodation.
But it's very expensive.
No, it's not even expensive. What's the name of the place that Jesus stays? Hitting point. There's an accommodation close to my school. It's just 400 quid. And it's very comfortable. But I thought about the fact that I'm coming with my husband.
Yeah.
Do you get? And I don't want to be in a confined space. I just, because the accommodation is just like a room, a common room, which is like the sitting room where everybody shares, and your
And
bathroom.
then
Do you get? Even sometimes when I go to stay with my friend, I don't feel comfortable there because it's like, it's really confined. So I had the option, but I had weighed a lot of things. I can't come from Nigeria and be comfortable and come here and not be comfortable. It didn't make any sense to me.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Precious. Jason, as a dependent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not studying, you're coming straight to, and you have like the right to work, right? 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. How was it for you settling in and, easing into the job space? How difficult or how easy was it? Because most people just believe, if I'm not a student and I have the right to work, then I'll just come and work.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy because from what we have seen. But how were you able to get into the market and,
Good question. I would say it was tasking. I think before we came, I had cooked myself from home, from Nigeria. Like, I think there was a particular time for about 2 weeks, I didn't step out of the house. Everything I was doing was from home. I was working from home, everything. So
2 weeks in Nigeria?
2 weeks in Nigeria.
Okay.
I stayed at home for 14 days straight. It was just to, I knew it was gonna be tough, but I needed to prepare myself. Where I needed to do some mind games, to just prepare myself on what to expect. Because one, you're leaving your comfort zone, and you have a responsibility. I had responsibilities, My wife is there, her school is there. So it's like we're in the middle, we know what we're expecting because definitely we know we're going there. I have to get a job, we have to pay our school fees, we have to, there are some outlying things and all. But at the same time, the unexpected and all. So after the 2 weeks, let me use the word, I was prepared. And then like I keep telling my wife, I say, one of the best things that we did was coming together. No, a situation where either she came alone or I came alone. Because in both ways, it's like, what kind of relationship would you call it? It's beneficial to each party. Symbiotic. Yeah. We came in and, like I said, she came a month before me. So she came in a particular January. I came in February. And we went to Airbnb. Coming into the country, I was not happy. Like, I think on that flight, I was just saying some things to myself, like, everything's going to be okay. And then coming in, immediately I got in, like that, I think the next day, I started applying for jobs.
Yeah.
I started applying, sending out CVs, And then definitely from people who had been here, they would tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to have different CVs, so many things. But I think one thing I said to myself was, everybody's path is different. I mean, what might not work for you might work for me, and what might not work for me might work for you. So I just kept applying. I think when I came, I got a job, I think, the next month after I started. And I think, looking at when we came, it now dawned on me, like, okay, you're here now.
Yeah, it's
seeing
real.
everything we have to do. We went to our school, and when they told us the balance of the school fees, it was, I think, about almost £6,000 and all, because we had paid half of it already. And I was like, okay, getting to work. I've done all my preparation in Nigeria, so there was nothing for me to even...
So the key, from what you have said, the key is actually preparing. So if you're coming, whether as a student or as a dependent, you have to be prepared.
I would say he was more prepared than I... You can imagine him saying that he had to do some mind games. I didn't do that, because if I had done that, I would have come with the mindset of, whatever happens. I didn't have that mindset, so that's why I was always crying, because I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
And even on those days, I'll just tell her, your league gets better. It's going to be all right. We're here already. So I prepared myself mentally, physically, financially, just to make sure that, look, you get there and there's no... I don't suckle. I'm here, then let's make headway.
Okay, now, right, let's focus on... Because it's September, or it will soon be September, and we'll have a lot of people coming in to study. From your experience, you're almost done with your master's now.
I'm done.
She's done.
With my master's,
right? Do you think, again, it is worth spending an average of 30 million naira on a master's in today's okay, before you answer your question, the question, how would you rate the education, the value of education you got? Was he wow, master, they are teaching us heaven and earth, or was he like because for example, I will keep making reference to Doing was like she was so disappointed. She had almost 100 people in the class.
I think I and Doing share the same values.
Okay, go ahead.
With regards to that, because I would say to each his own. Yeah. For some people, I don't know the kind of education they've gotten in Nigeria before coming here, but the kind of education that I had in Nigeria is actually better than the UK, because in Nigeria they take their time to teach you and instill knowledge in you, but in the UK, because you're level 7, they call masters level 7. They say you're level 7, you should know how to do your research.
Yeah.
Doing the research is just like going online, getting random things, putting it together. But it's not really, and I don't think that in the space of, I don't even think 1 year is enough for someone to do masters, because there's a lot to know. They're only teaching you like on the surface, but they're not putting you out there for what to expect from the world. Do you understand what I mean? Like if you're going to an organization now, you will need additional training from the organization for you to be able to understand where you're, whatever branch of profession that you're going into. Yeah. For instance, now I have a law background. I've started from law. I did my LLB from uni. After uni, I went to law school. Then I came here. I did law. I now added human resource management. So for me to be able to go into human resource management, I need more than masters. It's not enough. Master just tells you, employment law. You know that's human resource management. Absenteeism. There's more to it. Because I was in an interview the other day and they asked me a question on absenteeism, and it wasn't what was taught to me in school. It was common sense. I had to know that, okay, this is what I should apply if that kind of scenario comes up. So I would not really say studying in the UK, maybe not my school, I don't know. I would not really say studying in the UK is worth it. But if you must, and if you want to maybe gain more knowledge outside of Nigeria, it's not a bad idea. But be financially, be financially ready, because as a student, you cannot really find a job. You can't really find a job. You have 20 hours, yes. Except you want to do care. If you want to do cleaning, you will get it. But if you are looking for a job like my husband got, you will not get it, because nobody wants to employ a student. They feel like, 20 hours, what are they going to do 20 hours? It's not enough. And it doesn't even really favor companies, to be honest. Yeah. That's why they take full-time workers and all. Yeah. So again, I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm saying that if I were to rewind the button or do a reset, I would not go and spend that kind of money just to gain extra knowledge.
I mean,
okay, go ahead.
If I want to throw more light on that, I think most people coming in, the three classes of people who are coming in. Number one, those who want to just japa, and they know that the best way, the easiest route is through school. Yeah. Now there are those who actually want to come do their masters
and go back,
and say, okay, I'm coming to do my masters and go back. That's definitely going to add to your background, and then you hit that job. And there's some other people who just let's see how it goes. They come in through school, and then. But I think what I would say is, one, if you just want to leave the country, but you're living comfortably, I think you should just stay. It's not discouraging anyone.
And you have the 30 million naira.
You have 30 years.
Yes.
Just relax.
Exactly.
One, if you actually want to do your masters, if you actually want to do it at your, and you feel like you have the money, it's all right. You can.
So I'm in category 2. Yeah. Because I actually wanted to do my masters. Yeah. I look forward to coming. Like, my brother was like, go and do your masters. It took me a long time to make that decision to do my masters, because I finished school like a long time ago, and I was like, is it even worth it? I was even considering PhD after the masters. But being that the service I got from my school, I'm not saying they're totally bad, but there are lots of loopholes. After, you tell someone that when you graduate, you would get CIPD. That's Chartered Institute of Professional Development. and CIARB, that's Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. Then I graduated, and I'm like, okay. I hurried up. I took money from my husband. I was like, let me quickly pay for my, what's it, registration. I paid 100 and something pounds. And I reached out to my school like, okay, what next? And they're like, they use the word, you might
Probability.
get the certificates if you pass the course. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I already looked forward to the fact that I was going to get the CIPD. Yes, I already got CIARB because I passed the course, which is alternative dispute resolution. I passed the course, and automatically, if you pass the course, they'll just send your score they'll just send your results to CIRB, board, and they'll just automatically enroll you and you become a member. But I couldn't get CIPD after paying. I sent several mails to my school, like, oh, I've paid for this. I was even advised by one of the tutors to pay, and I could not get it. They had to now come back to tell me that, oh, they're just going to compensate me with £250. I know I spent 100 and something, but if I was going to get the CIPD outside education, it's going to cost me over 1,000 plus. That's £1,000 plus to get CIPD. Maybe I want to go to maybe an agency. Yeah. And to even go to an agency, they would say you have to have spent like 3 years in the UK for you to be able to access apprenticeship.
And it's one of the things they added the cost to
it was advertised. I sent them, because me, I'm good at keeping documentation. When I was applying, I downloaded everything and I kept it. So when they're like, oh, we didn't say that, I had to send them the information that, see,
this is what you guys said
advertised.
And
they're
there was no disclaimer or anything.
That is probably not an updated advertisement, that they're going to reach out to CIPD. They reached out to CIPD according to them, because I was in copy of some mail trails that they reached out to CIPD. CIPD said, I have done some of the courses, but there's some particular courses that I did not take, which my school later changed for the new intakes. They changed them to that course, and those new intakes now have access to CIPD. But I do not have access to CIPD. And it really hurts, to be honest, because I've been applying for jobs, and most of the jobs, if you want to venture into HR, one of the key requirements is that you have to have CIPD. It could be level 3, it could be level 5, but you must have CIPD or willing to look forward to having CIPD in the future. So it's just really sad that I had to go through that kind of experience, because I just thought, because this celebrity went to this school, she said a lot of good things about this school.
This celebrity.
This celebrity said,
let's go there. So I think there was one time Adesua told me she went to the school, and when I was writing my statement of purpose, I really wrote about her because I like the way she carries herself and how she looks in the public. I just like, okay, since she went to that school, it is a good school.
You've been
off
deceived.
I go. And I went there.
Influencer influenced you.
And I went there and I was like, all my classmates, they're really frustrated. There was a lot of people complaining. They don't understand what they're teaching. They just throw you out there.
Now, let me ask a question. Do you think, sorry for cutting you, but I just needed to chip this. Do you think it is as a result, I mean, because I did my master's as well. Everybody here, okay, you don't have master, so you can incoming. But do you think it is as a result of our mode of education in Nigeria that usually affects?
I was going to touch on that actually, because I was going to say
I don't know the university you went to, but the way we study in Nigeria, I can say for myself, is la crème la pot. You cram everything, you don't even know how to reference, just download, upload and download.
No, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that, because I think going to our Nigerian school, they teach you. I'll say they hold you. They hold your hand.
It's not about teaching now. It's about.
I was going to say because in Nigeria they kind of hold your hand. They tell you what to read, what to study. Whereas here, it's like self-learning.
To learn on your own, research and all that stuff.
Come up with right.
Yes, come up with. Yeah, I did. I did at the end of the day. I did my best. And in the beginning, it was only one of the first assessments that they gave me that there was a little bit of mistake. But after that first assessment, I used the first assessment to learn. Other assessments, I had 80 something, I had 90, I had above GK. I didn't really go down the grade I had the first time. But I would just say that I don't think they care. They just care about the money. They just care about the money. I don't think they care how you go about it. They just expect you to go about it. And you've paid. And once you've paid, it's the money that is their business.
Yeah.
That's a very good. Now I'm just thinking about my masters now.
Yeah.
I think I like what you just said. You don't think that they care. Forget anything you see on the website.
Yeah.
Forget anything.
There's so many
Yes.
students that they have to manage.
Yes.
Like,
There are so
who
many
actually has time
students.
to focus on
Even
you?
though they say they provide support and all that stuff, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah.
It's almost like
I don't think
they
so.
are limited to the kind of help they can render.
Yes, that's the
It's
way I
like
can put
they can help
it.
you to an extent and leave you.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Okay,
trying
let
to
me-
compare.
okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to compare this, like my master's to my undergrad. So, because I did undergrad here as well. I can see the major difference. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's because masters you have way more international students. The classes are much larger. You have lecturers.
my
It's hard
class
for
wasn't
them.
even large.
Really, it was hard for them to
Our
even
course.
focus on one. Maybe it's your course.
It's my course because
I did engineering,
public
so
health,
everybody-
public health is large.
It's large,
We
yeah.
just law and human resource in my class. I don't think the human resource class. I don't think we're up to 15.
Oh, really?
wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is very small.
Yeah,
group.
but the other
very
courses
small.
that we took with other students,
Yeah.
there's pure law, there's law and human resource management, there's business school.
Yeah.
Other courses that we took with other people, we
Were
were plenty.
we were more than
Yeah.
200 in my class.
No,
Oh.
we're not even up to 100.
They were-
200.
We're even up to 50.
In my uni, right?
Like for all your courses, or just like some.
for my course,
Your course.
masters in so and so. See, in my university, there's a place we call Lagos Corner.
I'm finished.
Oh, are you talking about Nigeria?
No, in my class alone,
Oh,
the
okay.
Nigerians there
Edinburgh.
were more than 50.
No.
Now imagine the Pakistanis, now imagine the Indians.
All groups.
You don't hear Yoruba everywhere. Ngbati.
We didn't have up to, we didn't even have up to that much.
So we're not. So everybody was just doing anyhow. Now, okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to rewind because I was trying to make a point. People had Moshogbo in
In
your.
fact, now,
I'm
okay.
trying to compare like my master's to my undergrad. So during undergrad, I think that's like guide. There's no like everyone had the personal tutor, and I could see more of that strive for like lecturers to get their students to
well.
you need to do better in this, you need to do this, do this, do that. Like I felt more of that in undergrad than masters. So I think your point of saying like they're just there for the money, let the students come, we'll give them what we can, and then that's that.
Just give them the
That's
the barest
that
minimum,
guide is
yeah.
actually not there because they don't have that personal.
The
I
personal
would say there was a guide.
Into it.
We all have had access to academic coaches.
Yeah.
And
But-
you have personal relationship with your academic coach. My academic coach was fantastic because there are several times that I felt like I can't do this anymore. I had to just book a meeting with her. And once I book a meeting with her, she gets to like, calm my nerves, talk to me about it, and
Yeah.
tell me how to go, tell me what to do, who to escalate my complaints to. So my academic coach was there. But I didn't expect that relationship from my academic coach because she does not know what I'm studying. She's just an
Yeah.
academic coach. I expected that guidance from my tutors. Do you understand? I didn't get all that.
So your guide wasn't like a tutor, one of your tutors.
No, the academic coach is not a
Just
tutor.
like,
You're just, it's mandatory that you have a coaching session
Yeah.
with her just for follow-ups, to just see where your
Yeah.
mental health is at.
But she can't help
Just-
with anything
she
core,
can't help
like
me
any
with-
core
No, she can't help me with
issue.
anything. She can
Yeah.
only direct me to people that, do one-on-ones, academic research
Yeah.
together, coaching and all. But
Yeah.
to say, let her come and sit down and explain my assessment to me, that was
It's
not her
not
job.
possible.
Yeah,
Okay,
do you understand?
let me jump to Jason. Jason, one of the most difficult thing in this for anybody that is transitioning is actually settling in, like acclimatizing to the UK culture. And for you coming from Nigeria and just jumping into the work culture straight to the corporate environment,
Yeah.
how were you able to balance it? How were you able to what were some of the shock? How were you able to like settle into the work life in the UK? I'm sure you must have seen some things that frustrated you.
Definitely. There was a major difference, or rather, there are major differences with work here and back home. I think for me, I would say, I'm just saying it's the grace of God that I was able to at least get something. There's definitely, I've done a couple of jobs up till now, but I would say employers, first of all, have preferences. Preferences, they look at name, and then when you see in person, when they see you in person, they still have preferences based on your physical appearance, but I
Based
think
on your color. Based on your accent.
I don't want.
Based on your accent. So many
I'm
things.
waiting for him to get there because my husband gets away with a lot of things. He speaks like them. He knows how to just blend in. The cultural shock. I don't think you had so much cultural shock like that.
I won't say I did because
Yes.
me, once I get into the office here, it's like I'm just wearing a new mask.
Just code switch.
I'm wearing a new mask here. It's like I'm you know, when most of them ask me where I'm from in the office and I say I'm Nigerian, like you don't say. Like they think that I actually grew up in London. I was like, why do you think I grew up in London? It's like the way I speak, the way I carry myself. Like everyone wants to talk to me in the office, but I'm like, I don't have that time. I just want to come in, do on the days I go actually. I just want to come in, do what I have to do, leave. It's the shock. It's the way they're not as devoted to it as we were or we are back in Nigeria. They're doing the bare minimum. They're doing the bare minimum, and that's it. So before you see their extra mile is like the basic for us. So, and that's why you see, most Nigerians come in and they want to do more, but at the same time they don't want to do more. And it's just you get to work. Everyone has their cliques.
Yeah.
Everyone has their clique. Everyone has their group. You don't want to kiss anybody's feet to get what you want. But like I said, there's a particular Bible scripture that's just been in my head, and I say, time and chance will net to them all. So that's why I always say, look, my story is going to be different. My story will be different. Yeah, most of the people come in and it's quite a struggle for them getting a job, staying in the job and all. But I think the most important thing is get your foot out the door. As soon as you're able to get one, as soon as you get in there, you're gonna. My first job here was quite a distance from my house. I got trial agency, and I was at work one day. We went for a team meeting, and then coming back downstairs to my desk, I got a call saying, "I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson. We don't think we'll be able to continue with you. If you just want to drop your laptop, drop everything with the IT."
Is it lie?
That same, like, literally the meeting ended like about 4:30. As soon as I came down, that the instant, like, if you just want to drop your laptop with the IT, your work from home equipment, if you can bring it in the next day, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
And we have school fees to pay.
Bye-bye. And that was it.
Yes.
Literally, after that incident, yeah, I just went into the toilet. I was sitting at the mirror like this. I was like, you know when your eyes are red, but
But
there
you
are no
can't
tears
see
coming
tears.
out. My eyes literally just
Bloodshot.
went red, but I was like, I laughed, yeah. I was not even sad about the job. I was sad about telling her. Because we had a lot at that moment. I was thinking, how am I going to pass a message on to her? Do you know why it hurt most? Because the day before, she was speaking about, she's schooling, she has not gotten the job, da. And I told her, thank God I even have one. Not knowing the next day, yeah,
You will not have one again.
I was going to lose mine. And then coming back home, you know when you're trying to just suckle up,
Get
just suck
yourself
it in.
together.
But I knew that I was still going to tell her. And she said, what's the issue? And I told her, she was like, God. And literally I could see, like, her eyes bubbling.
And my go-to when things don't go right is just tears.
Her eyes were bubbling because I don't know when I was
That's
like,
just me,
I was
tears.
like, there's so many things. So many things on ground. But what I just did was, I just went inside. I just went to sleep. And the next day I woke up, dressed, took my work from home equipment back to the office. And I just said, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. That's like, I don't know how it happened. I think ever since my cooking session back home, I don't get overwhelmed with anything.
Yeah.
I don't get... And we were taking a walk one day, and I said, we passed a particular company, and I said, just imagine me, a company that was literally at the back of our house, and 5 minutes walk. And I said, imagine me getting the job in this company. Like, CMC company, walk 5 minutes, I'll come back. And I won't lie to you, that same week I got the job.
In the company?
Yes.
That same week. You know when they called me, would you be interested in a role? Like, yeah, what's the company? They called the company, I was like, I've heard this name.
You familiar?
And I started there and I was like, and trust me, ever since then, yeah, it's been good. Like I said, so many people have different stories, but like I said, there were still times where I'll be like, boy, was it really worth it? But I mean, I think we had an agreement, we had an understanding, so we knew everything that was on ground. We knew what we wanted to do. just place focused, and I tell her, looking back at last year, it's a great difference.
Yeah.
Looking back at last year, it's tough.
There's growth at
It
least.
was tough.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
And you would think that, in Nigeria, they sack people for reasons that are reasonable. The reason why he was, here in the UK, if you're 30 minutes distance from a job, they're not going to employ you. Especially if you're not mobile. Once you're just 30 minutes far apart, they're like, oh no, do you have a car? Do you drive? If you say no, no, we can't give it to you. So the reason why they just told him that he can't get that job, as in he has to drop his equipment, was because he was living a distance from, I think it was 1 hour.
No, so I leave the house about 7. I get to work like
I think it was
Quarter
almost
to
2
9.
hours. Yeah.
quarter to
that's
9.
almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours.
Yes.
thereabout.
So that's the reason why he wasn't retained, because of the distance. So.
Okay, another thing is, right, that I've seen, I think you understand this very well, is for you to, depending on the area you are trying to get a job in,
Yeah.
it's a very competitive market. And the skill level you need to actually, the people here, you might say they are doing the bare minimum,
Yeah,
but they are
well,
very skillful.
Yeah, I'll say that.
They are very
I'll
skillful.
say that, yeah.
For example, they are very experienced, because at 15, somebody's already working at
Of course.
KFC.
Yeah.
So imagine that person at 27.
Yeah.
They are confident, and again, they speak English. English is their
Their
Yeah.
language
original
now.
language. We are borrowing the language, right?
Can they speak English, sir?
They are,
I don't understand what they're speaking.
Some of them,
they are confident. They know how to use tools, Excel, all these
Yeah.
things, right? So
Yeah.
you need to be like top notch,
Yeah.
right? Most of us are lacking when it comes to all these
Skill set,
little skills. So do
Yeah.
you think that's one reason why people are struggling? Because a lot of people are struggling. Even when people come in as dependent and they have work visa, you see them doing care, doing support.
yeah.
Do you think it's a major reason?
One part of it, I think part of it, and secondly, I think most people who do care, I would say like 90% of people who do care, do it not because they want to, but just for the meantime.
Yeah.
And probably those who were in the medical background
Yeah.
in Nigeria,
Yeah.
they come like, okay, good for me. I'll just further
Start
into
from
these
there.
aspects. I know. But one major thing I would say, like I said earlier on, if you're able to get your foot out that door, just get one opportunity. Because what most people do here is that you get a job here, you get your foot out the door, you can start from the lowest position. And then companies like that, they
Yeah.
say, oh, we're offering possible developments in this department. Any interested applicants can send applications. Tell us why you're a good fit for this. And probably it's like 3 positions above
If you
yours.
live
I'm like,
higher, yeah.
it could be a secondment, probably like a 6 months or 1 year thing. And then you go there, that's another experience. You're doing something different. You're there for like maybe 2-3 years. And you're like, okay, I think I've accomplished what I want to do here. You move to another position. So that's what they do here. They go into one company.
Yeah, you just
And
they
they
just
just
climb.
career
Yeah,
progression.
climb,
yeah.
Climb.
Yeah.
So with that, you're able to get all the necessary skills
Yeah.
in one place.
Yeah.
Instead of having to jump
Hop
from companies to
around.
companies.
Yeah.
Because one, it doesn't reflect well on your CV. Because any employer is going to bring you in for like, how do we know you're not going to leave us after 4 or 5 months and all?
No.
So most people like climb in one position.
Yeah.
Okay, now talking about employers, right? For someone that just finishing their masters, that's just one phase. The next phase is hitting the job market. Like you said, when you're a student, you're only limited to X, Y, and Z jobs, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we all did support, we did care, cleaning, I did security, and I forgot to secure anybody. Now, another difficult thing I want us to like talk about is next level, or the next thing, or the next phase after masters, right? Because that's one thing most people don't think about. What is the next thing for you now? How ready are you for the next phase? Are you ready? Or you're just going to get ready? Which one?
I don't think Precious is ready.
I'm ready because like I was coming from a background that I was working in a financial institution. It's a fast-paced environment there. So I would say I'm ready, but one thing is finding the job is a problem. Because you would think that, there are jobs on Indeed, LinkedIn, you have to apply. Let me bust your head. I applied for a role, human resource officer and I'm going to mention the name of the company because I
Please
later
tell
found
us.
out that they were scam. Accenture Global, one of the Accenture, it's not the Accenture, you know.
It's not the real Accenture.
It's not the
No,
real
it's not the real
Accenture,
one.
you know.
Are you serious?
Accenture Global or something. I applied for the role and, you know, I had an interview with a Nigerian girl. The interview was good, to be honest. And I got like a mail that I got the job. The salary was going to be 30K per annum. I was happy. I was the only one at home. Oh. I screamed because like I've applied for jobs and jobs and jobs. I screamed. Only to check my. They said they were going to get in touch with me to start on a Wednesday. I didn't hear from them. But I don't know what took me to my junk mail. And I saw that the person that interviewed me sent me like an anonymous email telling me that I should not bother going into that job. That these are the list. She wrote a list of things that will happen to me when I start working with them from the very first day I start working there. They're never going to pay me. They're not going to pay me. They're going to ask me to pay for a certification, ISO 9001 or some 9001. I'm going to have to pay for it. They're going to ask me to do this. Like, she just listed a couple of things for me. You know, I started calling her back. And when she picked my call, she was like, oh, that she's so sorry to break that to me, that she's been in the job for like over 3 months and she has not been paid. That we realized that there are only 2 people and there are no numbers under their signature when they send you an email. So you can't contact them. That she doesn't know where those people are. That they are going to employ me. I'm going to be recruiting people and I'm not going to ever get paid. I started doing my investigation. I saw one other guy too that actually, his profile says he's working with Accenture, but I still see him in some comment sections of some people, you know, advertising jobs, and he's like, oh, I'm interested. And I'm like, if this guy is working as Accenture, why is he inside comment section saying I'm interested in this role? I just sent you my CV. Then I just made up my mind that, okay, this is it. It's a scam. Moving on. So and I found that job on LinkedIn. It's not like I went to...
all those
what
funny
will I call
sites,
it now? All
yeah.
those jobbermans
Was
and
on
all those.
LinkedIn.
I went. If that kind of thing can happen in that professional space, you can imagine what will happen when, like, you're going to people's websites to apply for jobs and all. So it's not really been fun applying because it's just a couple. It's just, I don't want to say it's a couple of unfortunately because it's more than a couple. It's just a lot of unfortunately. You know, I've even gone for interview in my own uni. And, you know, I've been rejected twice, saying that, oh, they can't offer me this job and all. So I'm ready for the process of getting a job after school, but how to get the job is a major problem in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's not just all about coming to do your master, it's about also knowing that there are no jobs. And even when you find jobs, it's hard to get in. Like, the market space is so
It's
tight.
competitive. Yeah, it's
Yes,
very
it's
competitive.
tight that before you can even get in, you either you're a Brit or you must know what
be
you're
very
doing.
experienced.
You must be
And
very good.
If you are
Do you
not,
understand?
if you're not a citizen or you're not,
Yeah.
you have to be really, really
You have
prepared.
to be really
you
good.
have to be
Yeah.
prepared.
So
You have to be very experienced. You
And,
have
they,
to
and they
be-
look out like, have you worked in any of that company in the UK? They actually
and I
look
also
at
applied
that.
to NHS too. I got to the final stage. So you can imagine 3 serious stages of interviews, and I got to the final stage, and you know, but they didn't take me. So it's just, all those can be really discouraging, but what you do, you just have to keep going because like not going means giving up. You just have to keep going, applying and hopefully one will come through.
In conclusion, right? Elo and Cody are disturbing us. Elo, do you think it's worth doing a master's in the UK in 2024?
No, I don't think you should be asking Elo that question.
Who should I
Let's
ask?
You should be
ask
asking his
Chamsi.
wife.
It's
Chamsi.
Chamsi.
You know, the thing is, I would love you to round up. But I would to answer your question, and I hope it will be the round up. Really,
No.
if you have the money to do a master's in the UK in 2024, I mean, as with the current exchange rate, you should consider, finding something locally in Nigeria to do. You can, explore the Igbo apprenticeship system.
Igbo apprenticeship
System. It's funny, but it's
No, but it's the
effective.
truth.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real.
If I thought about it today, I would have probably sent my wife to Onisha. Yeah. Okay, so I would have sent my wife to Onisha to learn a trade. Instead of spending £18,000
It's funny, but to be
for
honest,
an
it's the
MBA.
truth.
So what are we doing with an MBA to master business administration? you finish the paperwork for 1 year. You don't master any business. Basically, you learn HR, marketing, and all those. They are just jargons. Paperwork 1 year. But if you go down to Onisha and actually learn a trade under the apprenticeship system, you would, actually learn how to manage a business, run a business from the scratch, and understand all the contingencies involved. And at the end of the day, the master, that's your guy that you've learned this business from, would settle you. So instead of me paying money to learn the books, I would be paid. Do you understand? So because what happens is you learn the trade and you're settled. And then you're able to start a business, which is way more effective. What's the end goal? Being successful, progressive, and financially stable and bankable. You don't get it from doing an MBA in the UK. You do an MBA in the UK, you end up being a carer, a support worker. Do you understand?
No lies.
That's very
no
true.
lies,
If I do the Igbo apprenticeship system in Nigeria for say 3 years, I come out being
Honestly.
a millionaire instantly.
True.
And I remain a millionaire. No one boy in Nigeria has ever, become poor. They own warehouses, import things every now and then. They have money. They are always rich. But here we just end up with the same thing that we've always had, which is nothing. So
True.
True.
Word.
That's word.
That
Word.
is a wise word from a wise man. That's the CEO of Bukaway.
Yeah, so our food factory.
So in conclusion,
In conclusion,
we're all saying that, in your opinion, you don't think it is with today's exchange rate, right? It is not worth coming.
yeah. Unless you have a specific aim.
I'll just
In my
say,
opinion, it is not worth it. But if you want to,
wait.
If you
wait.
want to, yeah, and you
it's
have
better that you get
have
a
an
job.
If you think you're coming to the UK to do master and your life will just change.
It's better that you get a job that sponsors you and you come over to the UK than to do masters. It's not that deep that you have to go through. I wanted to do a masters, in all honesty. That's why I did it for myself. But I think that before I would think of doing it again, I would think twice. So if you want to travel, I don't think you should
Explore
just...
that.
I think
Explore other means.
now you're able to do masters online.
Yes,
Able to do-
the other means, the other visa path that you can use.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Without
have to be a
spending- without
master's.
spending
Yes, without
18,000,
having to
20,000.
spend so much money coming here, and right now you don't even know if it was worth it. You know, you'd have just stayed in your country. That money, if I convert that money to naira, I should probably have gotten a house somewhere, even if it's in Yaba. I should have built my own
Would have
house
found
and put it
something,
for rent instead of
true.
Money's
spending.
coming.
Yes,
It's
put it
true.
for rent or go and use my father's property and start a farm. And
It's
I will
true.
be probably
Yeah, it is
selling
it is a lot of
yam,
money,
doing
yeah.
Very
fish,
true.
fish ponds and all that stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. I'll be making money
Facts.
right now because right now things are very
But
expensive
people
in
in Nigeria are
Nigeria.
looking at you and they're like, yeah, she's in the UK.
Oh,
she's
please. Hello, if you're out there, you're looking at me and you're thinking that you want to act like me or you look up to me, please drop your expectations because it's not all that glitter that is really gold,
True.
to be
Yeah.
honest. So
True.
and I cried a lot, so be ready to cry if you want to venture this path.
But just in conclusion, for you as a working professional, and if there's any working professional coming in, it's all about preparation.
You need to be prepared, and the preparation starts from the mind. Because if you're not prepared from the mind, man, you're going
It's
to
tough, yeah.
you're going to look. It's a bit like blood is leaving your body. You're going to be drained.
I can
'Cause
imagine.
from your bro, there were days where like, when I was looking for a job, like there's so many job centers around the house, so I'll just walk in like, unfortunately, there's nothing we have at the moment. If you want to check back, and I go back on, I was like, I felt like time was against me. I felt I was running against time. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? But no, I never got tired of sending applications.
You can't give
Then
up.
I never got. That's one. See, in a day I can do like 700 applications, like literally seven. Let's say I just do 100, I will send. And what I said, I kept track. I'll do follow. I'll send another email say, oh, I recently applied to to this job. I'm interested or I'm available if you want to discuss further and talk about my competencies and see how I can apply to this, how I can perform the best at this job. I know a couple of them reached out. There was a particular week I had 2 interviews each day, Monday to Friday. I got all of them. So I had to literally sit down and say, okay, which one do I want to which one do I want to do? But the thing is here, the opportunities, just be prepared. Never get discouraged. Never get tired of applying. Go out there. Send every application. Do everything possible you can. It just takes one.
Literally.
Literally just takes one. As soon as you just get your foot in the door, that's
The
it.
journey has started.
The journey has started.
Started.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from our power couples. It's all about preparation. It's all about pushing. I hope this episode has been very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you very much, Precious.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your words
I hope you
of
guys
wise
enjoyed.
knowledge.
And Mazi, hello. Thank you. Inai, thank you very much. I hope it has been an interesting and informative episode, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what to do. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Click the like button, subscribe,
Drop a comment.
drop a comment.
Ask questions.
Yes.
You can come back.
If you want to hear more from a power
I think
couple, just let us know.
Hello will be a guest. Hello has a lot
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Hello,
Bring-
you have a lot to say
We'll
about
bring
you.
hello. So yeah, see you guys later and have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.